Sharks here to play. MiniWarGaming's Beat the Cooler Bat Rap!
Hey there, MiniWarGamers. Owen here from MiniWarGaming, here to bring you another Warmachine battle report. Once again, I'm here with Dave, and we are playing 50 points of Menoth and Trolls. And I'll show you the army. Now, do you remember what scenario we were doing?
We were doing outflank.
There you go. So 2 large 12-inch zones, capture and dominate. Let's show you the armies.
Epic Krios with a Devout and a Vigilant, Gravis, Bruce, Yeoman, Rupert, Knights, Bastions, Incinerators, Bastions, Knights.
Pick an end.
That end. Fenblades.
They have a UA.
Yeah.
That's that guy.
Yeah. Trollkin Champions with Scaldi the UA and the Trollkin Champion Hero Solo.
Okay.
We've got the Fell Color Hero Solo. Behind him, the Stonescribe Chronicler. Then we have the Sons of Bragg character unit. Scatter Gunners with unit attachment on the back left. We have an Impaler, Beast, a Pyre Troll, the Rune Bearer, and my Warlock, Jarlskald, the Devil of Thornwood.
Ta-da! Here we are deployed. We've got Knights, Bastions. On that side we've got Trolls. Board that we're playing on. Large empty zone.
And turn 1 starts off with the Troll spending 3 on Scaldi to cast Quicken, and we actually cast it on the Scatter Gunners. And then he spends 2 more to do Tactical Supremacy over onto the Fenblades. There we go. So Quicken on the right, Tactical Supremacy on the left, and then he just advances forward his full 6 inches and just kind of hangs out right there with his 1 Fury left. The Fenblades, they all run up, getting themselves up and onto the zone there, or at least up and close to the zone, because they're his main get in there and hold the line kind of unit. They all have tough, they're all decent stats, they've all got reach, they're all pretty quick. So basically they're all just bigger and faster versions of my Knights Exemplar. They don't hit quite as hard, but there are more of them. So, and they have tough, but I have Rupert, so that usually kind of balances things out. Moves up his champions behind those guys. Now the champions, they're nasty. They hit hard, they've got high mat, they've got high armor, and they've got a solo and a UA with them that makes them all better. And then the Scatter Gunner, or rather the solo there, the Fell Caller, is going to run. And now here goes the Scatter Gunners running up, and they've got an increased distance on their run because they have Quicken on them right now. So they're running like 16 or 18 inches, getting well within the zone there. And of course they can all shoot as well next turn, or at least I'll most likely be able to get shot, seeing as I'm not going to not move into the zone because I don't want them to score points. Points are everything in this game. There we go, he runs up with the Sons of Bragg. They can all move up 12, and they just kind of hang out behind the Scatter Gunners. And then behind them, he's got the champion, who moves up behind them. So he's got a big group of 4 Weapon Masters / Special Ability Solos all wandering up behind his Gunners. And then he's just got his last supports in the back, riling and running his Impaler just to get it a little bit further up and have a little bit of Fury for the following turn. And he's got his Pyre Troll, who he riles for 1 and then runs with, bring him up on the other side and have enough Fury to go around on the following turn. And then Tactical Supremacy lets these guys move again, so all of his Fenblades get to move up and get a little bit closer, so they're even faster than they looked and are already more than halfway across the board. And I even have second turn, so at 7-inch deployment he's basically across the halfway point. Next turn he'll probably be hitting me. Well, let's see if he can kill me anyway. So I give 1 point to my Devout, and then I move up with Vilman, who does Impervious Wall. Then I move up with my Gel to the Fist, who does Shifting Sands. After that, I run with my Bastions, moving up there 8 inches, and just barely kind of, or just almost 8 inches, and all kind of lining up. Well, these aren't Bastions, these are Incinerators. Totally forgot who looked like what. Incinerators run up, and they just kind of line up in position. The Bastions on the other side, they move up and get up ready at the other side of the circle there, because I know he's coming, and if anyone's going to survive the Femblades attacking, it'll be Bastions, because Bastions are incredibly durable. They're basically a Warjack, only if you hit them really hard, you only do 8 points, and if you don't hit them very hard, they'll just share it. So this guy runs and can only go a little bit into the woods. After him, we've got Gravis, who moves up, staying more or less in the middle to protect them all from knockdowns and to soak up souls. Only one of them is not within his command. I use one to use Barrier on Krios, so he can't target me with spells, and then the Devout walks forward a few inches. After that, I run my Knight Exemplars, lining them all up behind my solos there, so that basically he's trying to push really hard on the right from where we're pointing right now. So in that in the light circle, he's going really hard there, whereas I'm going very hard on the red circle. Though you could argue that 10 Bastions is quite a lot of force on the one side. But we'll see how it goes. Krios moves up, heading up behind Gravis. Then he casts Inviolable Resolve on the front group, so they have bonus armor. And then he casts Sacrosanct onto the Knights on the far side there, so whenever he kills one, he gets knocked down. And then my other Knights run up, and basically, or rather Rupert runs up, and he does Heroic Call onto my Incinerators, so they'll have Tough if I so choose. And then my Vigilant moves up, staying base to base, because I don't want to get hit by any blasts. I don't think he has any that'll really worry Krios, but you never know. Better to be prepared. And so he's immune to magic, he can't be hurt by blast, and he's got his decent little stat line there to protect him. And my other Knights move up behind as well. Going into Trollbloods turn 2, he leeches back his Fury and upkeeps Quicken, or rather, yeah, upkeeps Quicken, and then runs with his Sons of Brag, getting them into the zone, and basically making sure that he is at least contesting it on my turn. He then casts Snipe on Jarl, and then moves up with the War Beast there, and then advances 5, and then moves up with Jarl, who decides that he's going to cast Magic Bullet. And from there, he's going to take a shot at one of my Incinerators, which hits, and then boosts the damage. And he kills him. 9 points of damage. Tough. Not tough. So I lose one of my Incinerators. He becomes a Sergeant. So that guy dies. Then he does Magic Bullet to bounce onto my Monk, which kills him. And I fail my Tough. And so that is the end of my Agellant. And a Gravis got a soul right there. It didn't really come up. And he does miss my other one. So, or no, he does hit, of course, my mistake. And then does 5 points of damage, which is not enough to kill Incinerator, but definitely hurts. Then he gets to move over and cast, use the Mini Feat on the Fenblades. There we go. There's that soul from the Incinerator getting killed. And these guys come charging in after popping their Mini Feat. Just gonna line up all the charges. So the first one on the one Bastion in the back there. This one on the front group of Bastions. If you can't tell on the, if you look at it, there's different colored grass on the one unit and the other unit. Is an easy way to tell them apart. The brown grass on the back and the green on the front. Basically, it's just my way of keeping the 10 of them divided up, or at least that I can tell them apart for who's in which unit and what position they are on the damage cards. And then the rest of the Fenblades just kind of run up, getting in position, getting ready to attack. So first attack hits, and it does dice -4, which does not quite enough to kill him. Second attack on the next guy hits, dice -4. He rolls a nice solid hit, and I let him die because I'm not going to transfer that much damage around. And Krios heals 1, and Vilman gets a soul. And once again, he rolls 665. That was twice in a row, actually. But this one is not quite as powerful because they do have Inviolable Resolve. And so I share my damage around with guys that I know are going to be attacked. That way guys who are already attacked don't get hurt as bad. And then he does Snake Eyes, which I just take on that guy. Next one, this guy only has 1 box left. So he hits, dice -6, tons of damage, so I kill him because he only had 1 box left. No point trying to transfer that all over the place. And he gets another soul. Gravis is now capped out at his souls. Next attack hits, dice -6. He does 9. I decide that I'm going to share it. So the first guy, who has already been hit, takes 7, and then the guy next to him takes 2. So they're both hurt. And he hits again with his last attack, another boxcars. And then reroll, because if it's ever not flat on the board, you reroll, but he gets a 6 anyway. So he does 6 points of damage. And basically, despite rolling 665, 665, 66, he only kills one guy, which, to give you an idea, that's how durable bastions are. They don't go away when you attack them. Here his scattergunners move up after his champions had moved up on the other direction there. So these guys move up because incinerators do not have reach, and so I'm not able to engage him. So basically he can move right up and shoot me point blank. Unfortunately, range doesn't matter at all as far as accuracy is concerned, which kind of makes sense, but anyway. These guys move up, and Vilman does have reach, so I warned him about that before he ended his movement, because he does want to shoot, and I'm not going to be like, oh, you're back in my reach now. Because it's not a tournament. We're just playing for fun. And so here we are. He moves up with the rest of the scattergunners, trying to find good positions, because they can shoot through each other. They have, I believe the rule is lookout. It's like lookout, sir, basically. Something, it's termed like that. But the effect is that his guys can't hit other troll units. First one, Rat 5, it's a miss. Second one, a reroll. Reroll one more time. Hit, there we go. And he does a little bit of damage there. And the other guy, more damage, so they end up taking... sharing the damage between my bastions, because that's who he's shooting at, by the way. That's my bastions that are getting fired at. And he's going to hit one of the incinerators with this shot. So on the incinerator, that is a miss. The other guy's a hit. And the last guy's a hit. So dice minus 6, nothing. And the last guy, 1. But he's going to share that 1 damage because he only has 1 box left. So his friend takes 1 point of damage and he's down to 2. He then starts firing at my incinerators. He misses the incinerator and hits the Knight Exemplar and kills him, so the Exemplar dies and he gets knocked down. Splat, because of Sacrosanct. The next scattergunner, he decides that he is going to shoot at my Knight in the back there, which unfortunately just hits that one Knight, but he misses anyway. He then takes a shot at Vilman, but of course Vilman is immune to whatever he's going to do, so we skip on to the next guy, hitting the Knight, killing the Knight, which then knocks down the scattergunner, but he does get to complete his attack and kill the other Knights as well. So he hits, and dice minus 4, which kills him as well. So 2 Knights go down, and another scattergunner is knocked down. And then he fires another shot at Vilman, which once again does not affect Vilman, but affects the guys nearby, which is a miss. He fires yet another shot, and this one hits, and kills him as well. So he's knocked down. But I lost quite a few Knights right there. He moves up with his solo. If I knock them down, they stand up for free, or I get knocked down, I believe it is. One of the two. Either way, I'm not able to get knocked down because of Gravis, so long as Gravis is nearby. Here we go. Krios is going to go first, measuring my control range here, because I'm probably going to feet. So I walk up just a little bit, right up next to Gravis. So I pop my feet. Basically what it does is every model of mine within my control gets an additional attack. If they're attacking a model that is in my control, they hit it automatically. And it's only melee attacks, so no shooting. But that's not bad at all. So I cast Inviolable Resolve on the unit in the back rather, instead of those front guys, seeing as they're nearly dead. As they're down to, I think, 5 boxes between the 4 of them. So these bastions, they all kind of move up and get in position. We had to point him at the right guy because he had actually charged that fella. So he's got to end your charge facing directly at your charge target. So basically, here we go. I take a swing, and I don't actually even have to roll for damage because minimum points of damage I can do will kill these guys. So we're just pointing them out, and then he has to do tough rolls. So Bastion, I point, he dies, fails his tough, and then I take a swing at the other guy who just passed his tough, which he dies then, so that's 3 of them dead. Next one on the next guy. Tough, so I swing at the other guy next to him. Not tough, so there goes another one. And then the last Bastion, he takes a swing, which kills him. And he's got one more attack on the last guy there, which he toughs again. So one survived after getting to just point out which ones were killed. But he has tough, so it makes it very far easier for his guys to survive than normal infantry would be. My incinerators move up, and they don't have much to be afraid of because they do get +2 speed thanks to having been damaged, and frankly they're just going to try and blow up these units. So first guy, re-roll that. There we go. Fails his tough, so he's dead. Next one. Fails his tough, so he's dead. And he bursts into flames, but we didn't take that into account right here because basically they're just going to cut through everybody here. Last guy on the guy on the end fails his tough. Second attack on the middle, and he fails his tough as well. So there we go. And there goes all of the scattergunners in the front rank. Over here, my next group of bastions, they move up. They're not able to go very far. Just trying to get themselves up there so I can get a few extra attacks. Trying to get into a better position as well as finishing off those front ranks of Fenblades. Because they do have vengeance, so everyone that survives is bad news. So he makes his tough, I do it again, and he fails his tough that time. So making him roll 4 tough rolls in a row is the way to kill his units. So he toughs, so I swing again. He toughs, so I swing again at the other guy this time. Then he dies, and now I swing at that same guy, which kills him at last. So there you go. Just make them roll 5 or 6 tough rolls in a row, and then that way you can actually kill trolls. But worked effectively. I run a exemplar into the zone just because I need to contest it because it is the bottom of turn 2 now, so we can start scoring points. And I didn't have anybody in there yet, so they're in there now, holding onto that zone, and they do have Sacrosanct, so if he does kill that guy, whoever kills him will be at least knocked down, which is a little bit of something to just kind of add into all the abilities that I've got over there. Vilman moves up, and he just does Impervious Wall, because I do not want to attack, seeing as it'll end up getting me killed. And then over here, my other knights, they run in to get their toes into the zone there, just so I can contest this one as well, because I don't quite have the momentum to push my way onto it. Rupert moves over, he does Heroic Call on the unit of exemplars, or the knights rather, and we forgot to do a morale check on the scattergunners, who then broke, but he has a banner, which let him pass. The Devout moves up, getting into a position just kind of to defend, and Gravis moves up as well. And I really wish I could have gotten Gravis in there, seeing as he is quite good at just smashing people. But unfortunately, I didn't have the speed. So here we go, Vengeance Swing onto my Knight Exemplar with his 2 surviving Fenblades. Oh, there's a third one there. So I'm within 5, so that guy gets to move up as well. Miss, second attack. Miss, he needs a 5. Next attack. There's your hit. Doesn't matter what he rolls. And this guy's only armor 15. 3 to live. Wow, he lives. He does not get killed. So he totally soaked up all of their vengeance attacks. These guys charge up. And basically we're debating whether or not he's going to get hit for my free strike, but at that point, I don't think it mattered because he had moved up and slid past, and we're all good. He gets in there. That Bastion has 1 box. He's not exactly going to be swinging for the benches right now. So he hits him, and basically needs a 6, or 5 rather, to kill him. Bam. And that is the end of that Bastion. Because he only has 1 box, so he's dead. Here we go, attacking a Knight once again. He hits him this time. So he hits him with his first attack, there we go. Rolling for damage, which is enough to kill him, so I decide that I'm going to tough. So I make a tough. But I do get knocked down because Gravis is not nearby. Next guy hits, so I'm going to roll for my second tough, which I fail. So he dies, and then of course the guy who kills him gets knocked down. And at this point, he does control that circle, which is certainly bad news for me, because at the end of his turn, he will start scoring points. And then first off, he starts casting spells on Jarl, getting him set up. So he casts Snipe on him with the Impaler, and then moves up. And then he uses the Impaler to take a swing at my Devout. So he boosts to hit. And his defense 13. So he needs a 5, which he hits, and he gets a crit. So he slams me back, and I go nowhere really, because I hit Gravis. and we realize that he has not got an additional point of damage, so he does 5 points of damage to me. And then dice -8, I believe it is, against Gravis. So Gravis lives, but the Devout is knocked down and slammed. So here we go. He's now taking shots with his caster into Vilman, because I forgot that he has the ability to ignore my being engaged. And its shot then bounces thanks to Magic Bullet to my Incinerator, and then he moves over his 2 inches thanks to his abilities there. He does reveal secrets on his Pyre Troll, then does his feat so that he can throw down a bunch of clouds. That'll be -2 to my mat, as well as I'm not going to be able to see through them, but the trolls can all see through them. So basically he's got a bunch of clouds that get placed. I believe it's 3 plus a d6 or d3. Either way, it's a ton. So he ends up putting 3, 4. There we go, another one right there. There we go. So these guys are going to stand up. One's going to stand up and not move. The other one's going to move up and engage. And the last one's going to move up and engage. So here we go, attacking the Incinerator. Weighs a hit, and boop, does 1 point of damage. Next guy takes a shot at the guy who's engaged here, but because it's a spray, he does not get penalized for shooting into the combat, and because he's got a special rule to not hit his teammates, he doesn't hit them as either. So he hits, and against the last guy, he hits as well. He does 2 damage to the first Bastion, or Incinerator rather. Bastions and Incinerators, very different. And then does 5 damage to the other guy, which puts him down to just 2 boxes left. And the last shot against the Knight, and he kills him. So that is the end of that unit of Knight Exemplars, and they only got like 1 attack. Here we go, +2 to attack and damage rolls on the Sons of Brag, who then decide that they're going to charge in against my Bastion or Incinerators as well. First guy who has reach, he charges up to the side there. This guy just kind of runs. And the last one charges into my Knight. There we go. And he gets to spray on his way in, because apparently he has Assault. So he's hitting 4 of my guys across here. Misses the first one. And does dice -6, which is, of course, no damage. And then the next guy hits. It was going to be -5, but I do get my shield while I'm knocked down as well. And he rolls Snake Eyes, so no damage there. We'll re-roll the 1. There we go. And then he does do damage to my 5. Bam, 2. There we go against Gravis. He hits, and then it's POW 7, or he's armor 17, so he takes 6 points of damage right there. And then he gets another attack against the Vigilant, who's armor 21, and then -7 against him, and no damage. And the last guy, miss. And that's it, because he did his melee attack as well, which kills the Knight Exemplar. Unfortunately, Gravis is still filled on souls, because once again I forgot to get him in there. Not that I forgot, I just was unable to get him into combat where I really wanted him, because he's got, like, on the feat turn, he's got 5 auto-hitting Weapon Master attacks, and they tend to do quite a bit of damage. Here we go, he's got his champions now charging into my Bastions, getting themselves into a good position. And he had to move my guy's spear so that he could fit in there. Then these guys double team the champion on the end there. Now it turns out, or the champions double team the Bastions, and it turns out these guys have essentially overtake, I believe the rule is, where they move 1 inch after they've killed the model. So first guy hits, Weapon Master charge, kills him, so that is the end of that Bastion. Yeah, they have overtake, so they get to move 1 inch and get themselves deeper into my unit, and of course they all have 2 initials each. So he's going to do his second attack against the other Bastion, which hits, and then he does tons of damage, dice -5, but he's a Weapon Master on the charge. And there you go, but it wasn't the charge that time, but it still kills him anyway. That's why we re-rolled it there, so that he was only using 3 dice instead of 4. And then he moves 1 inch as well, getting closer to Krios as well as his Exemplars there. Attacking the other Bastion, it's a hit, and this one, of course, is the charge attack, so he gets 4 dice damage, which kills him. The green one being, or the blue one for location, but they don't have location, so he just kills him. And he hits with his next attack, 3 dice damage, because he's just a weapon master at this point. And that one survives, because he's not in that bad shape. But that whole other unit, they're dead. Here we go, attacking the next unit, or the next bastions in the other group. He hits, and then dice -7, I believe it is, because they have inviolable resolve, which then kills him, so he gets to make a 1-inch advance, which is not enough to get him into engaging the other bastion. The fire troll then moves up into the forest there, and that's about it. So I start allocating some focus around, debating how I want to do this, and I give the devout one so he can stand up, who then walks over and tries to hit this troll with his shield. So he needs a 7, misses. Now he's going to try and hit him with his spear, which is a miss, and that's basically what he's got left. So he buys and boosts to hit with his last attack, which hits. Now it's only POW 13, -2, and I do 3 points of damage. 1, 2, 3. Was kind of hoping to roll better there, but unfortunately I did not. My Vigilant moves up and then moves 2 to go in behind these 2 champions, which is a miss. And then his second initial hits. Then he's only POW 11, so it's dice -7 when he tries to punch these guys. But I roll pretty good and still end up doing 4 points of damage. Krios moves up, just walking into his zone there. I was going to charge, but I don't want to have my back anywhere to anyone else. So he takes a swing, which he has to tough because Krios just kills him. And that's it. And then I was debating buying another attack, and I decide not to because it won't be an armor pierce, and I'd rather just save my focus. So my bastions start moving up, trying to get into a position to keep attacking and try and get into the zone, because that's where we've got to be. So he stays right on the edge of that guy's front arc, and the other bastion just kind of adjusts to go after that champion there. First guy hits. Weapon master attack, kills that Fenblade, which he fails his tough at least. And now this guy attacking a champion. Snake Eyes, he misses. The other one attacking the other champion, he misses as well. So that's certainly unfortunate. My knights are going to charge run. First guy charges the champion. Second guy charges the Fenblade. Third guy, just trying to decide what I want to do here. And he charges into the champion as well, because I do not like these troll champions. They don't know when to give up. But I do have more guys back in the zone, so he only scored from the previous turn. And so the first knight hits. But I roll pretty bad and only do 1, 2, 3. 3 points of damage. Here we go, the other one attacking the knockdown guy, who just toughs because exemplars on the charge do quite a bit of damage normally. And then he passes his morale check. Here we go, swinging for the other champion. It is a hit. It is a charge attack. Now it's dice -4, which kills that guy, but he makes his tough. And so now the second guy automatically hitting, dice -4, he has to tough again, which he fails, and he loses that champion. Moving on from there, I've got Rupert, who moves up. He does Heroic Call once again on the Knight Exemplars, so they have a little bit of a chance to survive while sitting on the zone there. At the other end of the board, my Bastions, or my Incinerators, every time I make that mistake, my Incinerators move up, engaging the last of the Scattergunners, as well as getting into it with the Sons of Bragg, or at least one of the Sons of Bragg. First guy hit, or misses rather, second guy hits, and then he does tons of damage because, of course, he is a weapon master. He fails his tough roll, so he dies, and because they're Incinerators, it actually lights the guy next to him on fire, because everybody within 1 inch of what they kill gets lit on fire. And this guy, he misses the Sons of Bragg, thanks to the cloud effect reducing his map by 2. Or his attack rolls by 2, whatever the actual term is. Effectively, though, it's -2 to hit. Gravis takes a swing. He hits, which does 5 points of damage, which is just enough to kill him, and he fails his tough roll. And so that is the end of that Son of Bragg. And here we go, my Gravis finishes the last of his ride-by. Moving into the Troll's turn, the Fenblades move up, taking another swing at one of my Knights. He hits him and kills him, but I do have tough, so on a 5+ I won't be killed, which I fail, and so I lose yet another Knight Exemplar, and that kind of sucks. Here we go, the Fen Blades activate first. He takes a swing, he hits, and then kills him. And once again, tough roll, which I fail. And so he's pushed me out of the zone once more, and will score yet another point. Here we go, upkeeping one, or make his next spell cost one less. The Pyre Troll moves up, looking right at Krios there. And instead he casts his Animus onto a Troll there, and then takes a swing at Krios, who he's just barely in range. And he hits him. And then here we go, boosting the damage. Dice -8, and he still does a few points of damage. Here we go, the Impaler. He decides that he is going to cast his Animus onto Jarl once again, which is basically all that troll guy comes for. Then he's going to take a Spear's Throw at Gravis. Not boosting to hit this time, so he hits, but he does not critical, but he does boost the damage, which kills him. So Gravis is now, as you can see, he's just a little infantryman now. Here we go, the Fellcaller moves up, does his spray, and hits those two knights. First guy, miss. Second guy, hit, and he's dead. Dice -6. Oh, I get a tough, which I make, and he's not knocked down because Gravis is still around. Here we go, charging in with his champion against my Incinerators. And he's in. He does have reach, of course. First attack hits, and rolling for damage. Dice -5. And he rolls great, which splatters that Incinerator. And it's a Thresher attack, so he gets to attack the next guy. Krios, of course, heals 1 point of damage because he kills one of my guys. Hits with his other guy's attack, and Weapon Master. Boom, 7 points of damage, which kills that Incinerator as well. And Krios heals again, which puts him back up to full health. And his Thresher attack on the last Incinerator hits, and dice -5. Ooh, not quite enough, only 2 points of damage, so the other two are all dead. Here we go, back to the Sons of Brag, charging in. First guy charges in against my Jack, and the other one trying to charge Gravis, which, with reach, he makes it just far enough to get in there, and does not get hit by a free strike on his way by. So I do my defensive strike with my Devout, who hits with his spear, and he actually almost kills him. Does a little bit of damage, but not quite enough to finish him off. Bam. Down to 3 boxes. If I'd rolled a little bit better, I might have actually survived. So anyway, I hit him. He hits me, rather. Does a whole bunch of damage. 5, 6, 7, 8. And there goes his Cortex, so I can't give him any more focus. Second attack hits, and boom. No points of damage. He misses, or rather does dice -5. He doesn't do anything. But he then kills Gravis, so my units can be knocked down once again and made stationary. Shooting his last Scattergunner at my Incinerator. He only hits my guy, so he hits and does no damage. Dice -5. Barely survives once again. And then rolling at the Devout, who he misses. Yeah. Moves over and does Hero's Tragedy onto the Champions, who then once again move forward, attacking my Bastions again. And the other champion, he debated a little bit what he wanted to do with them. Whether he wanted to go after the Jack, or jump on the infantry, or what he wanted to do. He decides he's going to run Scaldy in right into the middle of that whole group there. Because he does have reach, and so he'll be in a good position to start smacking all those guys around. And here we are, he's trying to see if he could actually make a charge against Krios with his last champion here, which he can, without leaving the reach of my Vigilant. So here we go, swinging at Krios, he's mat 9, he hits. Dice -7, he rolls a nice big hit, solid 9 points of damage with his first attack, and of course he has 2 attacks, so second attack hits, and then dice -7. Ooh, not quite enough to kill me. I'm down to 4 boxes left. Here we go with Scaldy taking a swing at my Bastion, which hits. Here we go, armor 17, thanks to Inviolable Resolve. Boom. Actually, it should have been 18, but doesn't matter. Krios heals 1 point of damage because he kills one of my guys. Next guy's attacking another Bastion, and he takes a bunch of damage. Unfortunately, my pen is starting to die at this point, so I believe I take his in just a moment. Second attack hits, Weapon Master, and does no damage. Next guy hits, There we go. Dice -5. He does 8, which kills that last bastion, so he's dead. Krios heals yet another point of damage. Boop. Then these guys get to make a 1-inch advance. We had kind of gotten confused about which guy had killed him, but either way, he gets a guy up in there. Moves his caster over, takes a shot at one of my incinerators, thanks to having snipe up, and hits. Dice -4. Boom. That is enough. Splat. And Krios heals one more. And then the shot, of course, does not bounce, because he did not bring the upgrade to get him to bounce. And then he's taking a shot and boosting to hit against my Exemplar, who's just hanging out, which hits. And then boosts the damage, because he really wanted this guy to die, which is more than enough to kill him, but I do have tough, which I promptly fail. So another one dies. Splat. And then it bounces from there into the next knight. It's only POW 12, so he may not kill me, but yeah, didn't kill me because I'm armor 18, because a lot of them are dead. So moving into the Protectorate turn, which is starting to look like it might be the end of the game here for me. Krios is nearly dead, and most of my army got chewed up by these champions. I end up casting Inviolable Resolve onto Krios, and then he takes a swing at Scaldi, which hits, and it is an armor pierce attack, so he's down to half of his armor. And I do 11 points of damage, and he fails his tough, because his dice +6 at that point, which is nice to see. My Vigilant walks in, getting into the zone there, because Vigilants tend to just kind of get in there and hold the line. They don't do any damage, they don't really do much. I like slamming with them, but that's pretty much all they get to do. So he gets in there and just kind of hunkers down, starting to swing at champions. So he hits and actually does a bunch of damage to the solo here. Taking his second attack, which is not quite as good, but he does do just enough to kill him, failing his tough roll, and kills one of the solos. So, way to go, 4-point Vigilant. The Knight Exemplars charge in 1 for 1. They're going to just kill both of these champions. That's their goal anyway. And so here we go. First guy swinging. He hits, and he's Weapon Master Charge. Almost all of them are dead, so they're +4 damage right now. So they're POW 15s essentially, which, boom, does 9 points of damage. So he's got to make a tough roll, which he fails. So one of the champions is down. The other Knight Exemplar is taking a swing at the other Troll champion, which hits barely. Needed a 5, and dice -3. 7, which is enough, or 9, which was enough, and we kill another champion. So there we go, Knight Exemplars. They're both knocked down, but I do Heroic Call on them to give them tough, just because maybe they'll survive, even though they're going to be auto-hit. My Incinerator stays more or less in the zone there, staying within reach of the one troll. Hits with his attack. Dice -4, which kills him, but he has tough, which he makes his tough. So the Devout gets to hit him now, or rather the Devout gets to move and then hit him anyway. So he tries to bash him with his shield. So shield first against the knockdown guy. That was not enough to kill him, so I decide, you know what, I'm going to hit him with my spear. Maybe I can finish this guy off, at least be down another Sons of Brad guy, so the one who has multiple attacks anyway. Yeah, took a swing. Actually, I took a swing at the guy with reach. I don't know why I did that. That was definitely a mistake. But we move into the troll turn, and basically getting himself in position with his free strikes, or his vengeance strike. Taking a swing, he automatically hits, and not enough to kill him. Champion hero moves up to my Incinerator, but does his reach attack against my Devout, just because he can. And he hits, and does 2 points of damage, so the Devout is just getting pummeled. The Scattergunner runs over, hits, charge attack, doesn't do any damage. Basically, these two guys are now going to hold off all of these Weapon Masters. First attack against Incinerator, hits, and he survives with 2 boxes left. Good job, buddy. Second attack, hits, and of course, Weapon Master once again. Boom, that is the end. So I do finally lose my Incinerator. I'm down to just having my Devout. Krios heals another one, and one from the other guy who got killed by the Vengeance attack. There you go. He hits, and dice -4. 1 to 1. So he's still alive. The Devout's still going. And my pen is just about dead. Scaldy decides that he's going to move up, get further into the circle there, trying to get more shots off, and does magic bullet, taking a shot at the guy who's knocked down. He hits him and kills him, but I do have tough, which I fail. Well, I'll keep rolling those toughs. One day I will make one that matters. Krios heals another point, bounces to the other guy who's knocked down. Not enough to kill him though, because he is really high armor, seeing as all of his buddies are dead. So he's armor 20 right now. Here we go, he charges into my Vigilant from behind with the Fire Troll. Hits, and I do not get all my shields because he's attacking me in the back arc. So he hits me for 9 to my 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, or 8, sorry. Yeah, I'm armor 16. 17. Yeah, armor 17 on a Vigilant. And they're +2 for the one shield, +2 for the other shield, makes him armor 21. Hits him with his second initial. Does a bunch more damage. Not quite enough, though, to really take him out of the fight. Here we go. He takes a swing at Krios, who's knocked down for having killed one of the champions. And does not do any damage. Second attack does no damage either, thanks to my armor plus inviolable resolve plus sitting on a bunch of focus. So here we go, taking a swing with his other guys, or the other champion against the Vigilant, but this time they're swinging at his front arc, so he's basically fine. Moving into the Protectorate turn, Krios spends 1 to stand himself back up, and then... and also gives a bunch of focus to the Vigilant, because why not? This is the Vigilant's moment. First thing, the Exemplar stands up, takes a swing at the Fenblade. He hits. POW 16 Weapon Master kills him, but he makes his tough, which is somewhat annoying, but it happens. That's what they do. That's what trolls do. He pays for the tough, so he gets tough. That's basically that's how the game works. I do Heroic Call on my Exemplar once again, because that way it will affect Rupert as well, who is now also in the zone to contest. Vigilant takes a swing at the first guy there. Miss. His good arm misses. He needs a 6 with his weakened arm. He missed. He's going to buy an attack with his good arm. 6 to hit. Hits. And it's dice -2, and I roll Snake Eyes, which kind of bums me out. I buy another attack. 6 is to hit. Hits. Dice -2. Ooh, 3 this time. 1 point of damage. Buy 1 more attack, which hits. And did not kill him, doing 3 points of damage, and so he is down to 2 boxes. 1 box. Now, that's the way that should work. Krios does smite against the other knight, or the other little troll there, slamming him away 2 inches. I could have just armor pierced, but if he had made his tough roll, he would have just stood up and attacked me. So I'd rather slam him away. That way, even if he's toughed or not, he's knocked down and can't move over and attack me. So at least Krios has a chance. And he does 6 points of damage, not quite killing it, but at least knocking it down and getting it away from Krios. The Devout moves over, taking on all 3 of these guys at the same time. All 4 of those guys, really. And he's kind of crippled at this point. He misses with his attack, and unfortunately his shield really can't do much. But he takes a swing anyway. So he hits and makes this guy up to tough. But he toughs once again. So another Sons of Brag makes his tough roll and is not killed and is able to hold on. Here we go, moving into the Trollbloods turn. Things are looking pretty good for them, seeing as they've nearly got enough points to win. All they have to do is really push me out of the zone. So if he kills that Devout, that is basically the end of the game. But he failed his frenzy check on his Impaler, not having it within his control. So it is going to go berserk and attack one of his guys, which then kills his support solo. Takes a swing, and he misses. Now he gives up his movement with his other guy. He hits. Weapon Master attack. -6. 5 points of damage, so he takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still alive with a little bit left. Second attack misses. Yeah, because my defense is still high enough. And -6 because he still barely has his shield. 5 points of damage, which finally is enough to kill that.
Are you doing anything?
No,
He did good though.
Done at this point. And yeah, it came down to it in the end, but
It really, well, you know what I think one of the big differences is that in the end all I had was my expensive models of my champions, and you're wiping them out with your knights.
yeah,
Because they're really cheap weapon masters that can really take down heavy duty models.
Yeah, here's
But yeah, it was-
8 box armor 18 infantry going up against a 1 box. 1 box.
I was gonna try and kill your Jack next, pretty much,
Yeah.
and then engage your caster, but magic bullets, I was gonna clear those 2 guys out. Hopefully he would kill your Jack and I would dominate the zone as well.
Yep. No, I didn't think that they'd be able to hold it. Unless I got crazy lucky with my toughs. Sort of like as lucky as other people get. I'm not saying you, I'm just saying people.
Sometimes I do.
Sometimes.
That's the thing about tough.
It's all over the place.
A lot of times I'd rather have a more static defense mechanism than tough.
Yeah.
Especially it can be frustrating against an opponent when you're rolling a lot of tough, like, you know, like 90% tough rolls. It's not
Yeah.
fun for them that they can't remove your models from the game.
And there is nothing you can do about it, which is
well,
annoying.
Grievous Wounds, you've got the 1 caster.
Thyra.
Thyra gives out Grievous Wounds.
Yeah.
But that's realistically, you know, it's hard to say, oh, I've got this 1 counter, this 1 spell on this 1 caster.
And then as soon as you bring that, all the troll players are like, why would you specifically counter me?
Well, that and then
Just
it's
'cause
like,
I knew I was
and then
playing
that day
trolls.
it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I brought a Breeze Brick, and then I don't have any tough anyway, so it's like, oh, I brought this just so I would have
Can't
tough.
heal, can't transfer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
It
yeah.
does
Then
fit
you have to
other.
get that on the caster, who I'd be hiding behind all of my beasts.
Well, no, yeah, I guess. But the beast couldn't heal. And against trolls, that's a big hit.
That was
Like when the Blood Witches crept around. That was...
small. I was messing up this game big time. My Impaler too wasn't in my control area for like 2 turns.
Yeah.
Brutal.
I messed up. I forgot about your magic bullet. I know he has it. I just forgot and let my monk stand too close. Because there's no way you would have killed him if not for that magic
You know
bounce.
what? The only other time playing against the monk, we were having a casual game a few months ago, and he was like devastating my army because all my guys were like burrowers at mat 4, so nobody can hit you, so you're just running around, killing everything. So it felt good to put a headshot into your monk. So, a little bit of retribution, long overdue.
Great fun all around though. So
Yeah, I think it was for zones.
leave a comment below. Let us know what you thought. If you would have brought something different or if we made any tactical errors there. I'm sure I did, but
We always do.
exactly.
You can't help it.
So stay tuned for more Warmachine, Warhammer, and Warhammer Fantasy Battle Reports. Happy Wargaming.